Hey, Soul Tribe family. Welcome to a very last minute pop up live on Soul Therapy with Lady D. And I have my soul sister. You know her, the one, the only, the goddess to the stars, SARA ASHLEY. SARA, how are you tonight?
Oh, I'm fantastic, Delphine. Things are going well over here in my side of the world, even though it seems like there's a lot of conflicting energies going on for a lot of people right now. But I'm excited for what's to come. How about you?
Yeah, there's been a whole lot of, let's say, moving and a grooving and shaking and
A lot of
on the
shaking.
East Coast. So we're going to get into that. Before we get into all the, as our soul brother would say, the hot content. By the way, speaking of the Prince of Peace, as you know, it is his born day today. So he took the night off to be with his little star seed. So our soul brother Jason, we know you'll watch the replay at some point this evening. We love you. We are so glad that you were born today. And we also want to do a shout out to Golden Retriever Puppies. Thank you for birthing our Prince of Peace
Yes. Happy
this day as well.
birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday. Happy solar return.
Yes. Happy. He doesn't want, he said last week he doesn't want us to sing happy birthday or say happy birthday. So I'm going to say happy born day. I texted him today. I'm so glad you were born today.
Okay. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
That's a new one. I've never heard of that
Yes.
one before,
Yeah.
but I'm willing to adapt to that.
That's right. That's right. So we are very glad our Prince of Peace was born because he's the reason why SARA ASHLEY and I met
Mhm.
and, part of our Soul Tribe family. So we have lots to do, lots to speak about tonight. So I just wanted to do a little housekeeping first. All right. I wanted to bring attention to a couple of things that are going on. I'm on SarahAshleyAstrology.com, folks. So I am going to be very, very good here and share my screen and be very professional. So we have a $99 Akashic Records past lives reading. Sarah, you want to do a little, just give a little info about what that entails and anything else that's going on over in your website there first,
Sure,
please.
sure. So, for those of you who have never received an Akashic Records reading before, what it is the Akashic Records is the memory of all consciousness. Okay, so it basically what I do for you is I work with your guides and your angels to pull 3 lifetimes that you need to hear about in this now moment that will resonate with you in this now moment. They have messages from soul contracts that you're working with now. So, soul contract means a friend that you have or a family member that you have, like a mom or a dad or a sister, or it could be your significant other, your spouse, or your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is. And there might be messages about your relationship in the Akashic records, and messages to help heal that soul contract or move on from that soul contract. There also might be some past on loved ones that might come through in the Akashic records reading that you have been through multiple lifetimes with. And when they come through, those messages usually provide some kind of direction for you so that you're moving in your highest timeline. And then, of course, there's going to be some other lessons that come. Sometimes your galactic family comes in, and sometimes your galactic lifetimes come in. And believe it or not, some people were actually animals in past lives too. And I know that might sound a little strange, right? Because we can't imagine ourselves as like a bird or some kind of, being, but a lot of times that does come through as well. But the messages are always ones of hope and moving into the right direction in your life. So if you want to understand some kind of clarity, you need clarity about your soul's timeline, like you feel like something's missing and you don't know why, I will do my best with your guides and your angels to fill that gap, to bridge that gap through for you through the reading. And we do the readings on Zoom. And if you want me to record it, I can. I do offer pre-recorded readings as well, and you can ask me the questions in advance. So they are $99 this month, and it's code Akashic 99 right there on my website. So you're going to go click on services after you're on my first page, and then Akashic Records reading is there. And then you're going to go ahead and put in the code once you get to the payment part. So anyways, I'm really excited to do that. And I do have a few more slots available. I think my first slot now is available on April 15th. So I'm booking up fast.
Awesome. Awesome. Great. And I can attest I haven't had an Akashic record, so I'm going to be doing that, but I've had birth chart readings and plenty of birth chart readings and just regular tarot readings with Sarah. She's worth, as our soul brother Jason would say, she is well worth the price of admission. Phenomenal reader, phenomenal astrologer. So very exciting. So check that out. Also, what else do I wanted to? Oh, so I wanted to talk about my Tuesdays with Lady D. I had my first session. We had our first soul therapy group session this coming last Tuesday. It was really great. Had a great group of people. We had some great breakthroughs. It was a huge success. I think I'm going to do it every other week because I have something going on. I might have another gig on Tuesday nights, but we're at least going to do it twice a month. So if you're interested in doing the next session, which will be not this coming Tuesday, the Tuesday next, for it following Tuesday, please email me the email, and Sarah Ashley's, all her information is in the description of this video. Also, I'm having my own little special here. I'm doing 30-minute tarot readings for $65. And as well, I'm still doing my 1-hour soul therapy sessions and 1-hour readings. They're usually $150, they're $111. So
Nice.
check my website out. And so let's get to the nitty gritty. Actually, before we get into this, Sarah, I did want to talk about one thing that you just said, because, okay, so Sarah and I, obviously, everyone knows we're friends, we're soul sisters, but we have a lot of the same clients. And so many times I'll be reading somebody and they'll say, oh my God, Sarah Ashley said the same thing. Sarah Ashley said the same thing. And this happened to you again this week, right?
Yes, it did. The person I was reading for said, if they ended the reading, they waited until the end of the reading and they said, Lady D told me the exact same messages, And this person that I was reading, they just kind of like gave me like a generic prompt, if you will. They didn't go into details. You know, there's some clients that will go in and like, they'll go into the whole story and you're like, what, can you just like stop at the story? You know, those clients, Lady. And it's like, we just give us room to do our work here. But this client, they were very vague. They're just like telling me about family, telling me about my finances. And we both picked up on the same exact specific details. And they were very pleased. And they said, both of you are phenomenal. And they were just so pleased. So it's really cool to hear that we picked up on the same specific downloads for this person.
That's happened many times with me. So it's so funny how, so it's just, we're a confirmation for each other. I love it. It just means that we're both on point.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of validation for each other and that client and other clients. That's for sure. It's really cool.
Now, when you said earlier, it's so funny when you were speaking about how you found out, you got that somebody was an animal in their past life and they became human, or vice versa.
Yeah.
That's funny that you said that, because I didn't think that was possible.
Mm-hmm.
But just today, I did a reading on somebody, and it turns out that there was a reincarnation of an animal, of like somebody in her family, and it reincarnated as her pet. And that was the first time I've ever encountered that.
Wow.
I believe it's rare. I got that it's rare. It doesn't happen often.
It doesn't happen often. Sometimes it happens. It does, because it's like their soul needs to be like, learn that perspective. Like I tell my clients, you're not always going to look like you do in this lifetime. So you can be a different race. You can be a different gender. You can be a different ethnicity, speak a different language, all of it.
Wow. Yeah. So isn't that funny how I don't believe in coincidences. And then you said that, and that just today I learned that. So all I see is just like, all you have to say is that you have to leave, like, all we know is that we don't know, and we don't know it all. And you have to keep your mind open, because you think you know it all, and you learn, and you just realize that we don't. You just always have to keep your mind open, because I'll tell you, some of the things that I believe today, if you told me I would believe them, like even 6 months ago, I would have told you you're nuts.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. When it's confirmation, we're learning more and more every day. Our minds are expanding, especially in this eclipse portal, girlfriend. It is a lot of expansion. It's all just popping in there. And I think that's why a lot of us are having trouble sleeping, from what I've heard.
Oh, yes. Yes. All right, I just want to finish one thing about our soul sister, Chrissy, in the chat, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty. So I believe Chrissy's going to be joining me for at least a little bit tomorrow night because the Screw Tube police did it again. Our soul sister Chrissy got another strike from a stupid video that she did 4 months ago.
Unbelievable.
4 months ago. Unbelievable. So, folks, we don't live in a free country. We live in a banana republic. Okay.
100%.
So she is. So Chrissy's going to join me tomorrow. Okay. I don't know. I think we'll do tarot, or I don't know what we'll do. We'll play it by ear, but Chrissy's going to join me tonight because we're going to get around that.
I love that. We're going to fix this situation. We are. We all support each other here.
This is ridiculous. So I like seriously. So I like this is ridiculous. So just we have to be careful what we say, I guess. All right. So Jess, we'll have to speak in code, and also in the chat, please speak in code. We have to be careful now. It's really, 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 really bad. And all she said was all about 45 and our Lord God. I guess that's enough that to get the demonic AI algorithm. So I had to like go through and just check my videos and rename a couple of videos because, you know, we have to be careful now.
They've done it on Instagram to me too. It was I don't even know what it was about. It was some Instagram story that I reposted from somebody else. It wasn't even my own original content. It was another person's content. And, you know, on Instagram, you reshared in stories. It was from over a year ago. And I got a little strike from Instagram because they said that it was false information. And it was from a year ago, and it was not even in a post. It was somebody else's content that I reposted in my story. So why should I get a strike if it's not even my content? It's just so bizarre. It's like crazy that they'll go all the way back. And there's people on these platforms, and I'm sure we've all seen it, even though we don't want to see it. Their butt is like literally in the camera. These girls with their Lululemon pants with their butt, like it's all the way, like my hand is in the camera, like all the way. That's okay. That's okay. But what we're saying, somehow not okay. Go figure.
Oh, and you know what I particularly love too is that they'll keep like people like Julie Greed and you know, people, they'll kick them off, right? All the really, but then and even like Janine, what's her name, Queen of Ravens, right? They kicked her off a long time ago, but yet they'll have all the people that pirate their videos on, but they'll kick those people off.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't. So it's like they can't even make money off their content because they get demonetized, right?
Right.
Yeah. And which, by the way, guys, nobody gets rich from YouTube or any of these platforms. I'm going to tell you this. Like, I have 5 cents in my TikTok account because I have a friend who's like, oh, you must be making so much money off of your TikTok. I was like, girl, I have a nickel, a literal nickel. So just because somebody has thousands of views, but still it does interfere with their income and their ability to get readings and things like that when they take off their websites and whatnot.
Right. I actually monetize YouTube, and they take $25. They take 25% off because I live in Massachusetts, and their fees, and oh, please, it's just, we're not killing it by any means.
No.
Okay.
No.
We're not buying diamond encrusted tarot cards anytime soon.
No, not from our YouTube earnings. That's for sure.
Right. All right. So Soul Sister Chrissy will be joining me tomorrow night, and just look for the thumbnail. To be continued. Fortunately. All right. So let's get to the nitty gritty. We have so much to talk about, Sarah. So happy you're here with me because
I am too.
We need the astrology, and we need it. There's a lot going on. We need we need 2 soul sisters.
I love that. Yes. Blonde and brunette.
That's right. You get your pick. So 2 storms for the price of 1 because we're both forces to be reckoned with. So let's talk about this earthquake that we all woke up to this morning on the East Coast. I didn't feel it. Some people felt it. So I guess it was a 4.8 magnitude earthquake strikes New Jersey, shaking buildings and surrounding states. And apparently, I guess there was another one too. Am I wrong? Was there 2 of them?
There was one in Taiwan the day before that. It was a 7.8 earthquake. It was either 7.6 or 7.8. And that was all the way in Taiwan.
Okay. And that happened yesterday or also?
That happened on 2 days ago. 2 days ago, our time.
Okay.
I think it's like 3 days ago, their time, because there's a 12-hour
Oh,
difference.
okay. Oh, that's right. That's right. There was two of them. That's right. Okay. You know what? I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to do a little info, and then Sarah, I'm going to have you take it away because I want to get your take on it and the astrology because
Sure.
Sarah's been predicting this for months. Been
Yes,
predicting this? Okay, for
months.
months. All right, so we're going to go Fox News. Okay, so 4.8 magnitude earthquake strikes New Jersey, shaking buildings in surrounding states. East Coast residents felt the earth move Friday morning as a minor earthquake hit New Jersey and was felt in surrounding areas, according to U.S. Geological Survey. The earthquake measured at least 4.8 magnitude and struck near Lebanon, New Jersey at 10:38 a.m., about 45 miles west of New York City and 50 miles north of Philly.
Mhm.
Okay, our region was just experiencing an earthquake with preliminary magnitude of 4.7. Blah, blah, blah. Several aftershocks have been recording, including a 2.0 magnitude tremor about 7 miles northeast of Bridgewater, New Jersey. And also they felt it in other areas of New Jersey. Fourth 1.8 magnitude aftershock was reported 6 miles at Bridgewater, New Jersey. So a lot of people in the tri-state, I would New Jersey, Connecticut,
Yeah.
that whole area. I guess some people in Mass felt it. I didn't feel anything, but this is what Sarah was talking about. I didn't even know about the Taiwan earthquake. I don't what. So I guess there was another one that they were talking about. Here we go.
Yeah.
There was also a Taiwan earthquake coming up. Let's see if we'll bring that up. All right. So here we go. Rescue continues the search Friday for dozens of people still missing after a 7.2 magnitude earthquake rocked Taiwan, killing at least 12 people and injured more than 1,000. All right. So that happened, I guess, 2 days ago. So, Soul Sister Sarah, I'm going to give it to you. You've been talking about this for months now. So, what say you?
So Uranus and Taurus, that's the main culprit here. So Taurus represents the earth. It represents Mother Gaia. Okay. So when we have Uranus, Uranus is like sudden electricity. So if you think about like what controls the earth's electricity, it's the plates. Okay. And also like the seismic, movements of those plates. So now Jupiter is coming into a conjunction, which means like they're meeting together at the same degree in Taurus. So we have Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus together. Jupiter expands everything it touches. So it's basically, it's like a giant highlighter. If you think of the planet Jupiter as like this giant yellow highlighter, it makes everything bigger and bolder. So that means to me that there's going to be a lot of different kind of geophysical events going on in the earth. Plus we have Mars and Saturn in Pisces together right now. Mars is like a warlike energy, okay? And Saturn is all about, once again, it's about the friction that envelops in the earth. Now, Pisces energy is about the water. So for weeks and months now, I feel like something's going on beneath in the ocean that we can't see. It's not humanly possible. We don't have the technology to see it. And there's something going on where these plates are moving. And because we have the eclipse and because we're in Aries season, which is the ruler of Mars, so Mars is going to be more emphasized in all of those water events are going to be more emphasized. There's going to be a lot of activity. And besides that, I mean, we could talk about this later, but I do feel like there might be a lot of, I don't like saying this, I'm just going to say it. Some things I don't want to be right about, Delphine. You know how it is. I feel like there might be a lot of warships that are going to block ports. That's what I keep on seeing. But a lot of them are going to get tsunamied out. That's what I'm seeing. So there's going to be a lot of catastrophe in the next couple weeks. Remember what I said last week on our Light Warrior Network show. The eclipse energy isn't just contained to the day of the eclipse. It's not just Monday. It's for the next 6 months. So it's also before and it's also after. So we just had that eclipse in Libra a couple of weeks ago. It's a partial eclipse. And we also have to think about the other planets involved, not just the moon and the sun. And this eclipse energy we're going to be dealing with it for about 6 months or even more, if you think about the consequences that it could develop because of it.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it's everybody saying the same thing. It doesn't matter if you're an astrologer,
Right.
if you're religious, if you're a Bible belt,
Yeah.
Bible thumping Christian, a Baptist, Southern Baptist. It doesn't matter if you're Jewish, if you're spiritual, if you're an atheist or an agnostic and you're a scientist. It doesn't matter. This is all happening. It's even
Right.
biblical. So it's
Exactly.
everywhere. And I'm the type of person that I watch a little bit of everything
Yeah.
because I watch I watch Amanda Grace and I watch Julie Green and I watch all the Bible people and
Yeah.
the Christians and then I watch astrologers and I watch tarot readers and scientists, and when they're all saying the same thing,
Mhm.
and you gotta you gotta really take heed there, and
Yeah.
something significant is happening.
100%. Yeah, we're all seeing it. Maybe we're not all saying it the same way, but we're all seeing the same thing. And then the other part of this is, one of my other astrologer friends brought this to my attention, is the fixed star that this eclipse is taking place on is called Cetus. And Cetus is a sea monster, okay, a dragon. We're in the year of the dragon. We're in the year of the dragon. Now, for months now, I've been having visions of Leviathan. Leviathan is the sea monster from the Bible. Okay. And at the end, when the sea monster, does his thing and God wins with the sea monster, we're supposed to eat the Leviathan. Okay. That's what it says in the Bible. I don't know if I want to literally eat the Leviathan, but okay, I'm getting carried away. I'm going into Saraville. Sorry, guys. But what I'm saying is, I really think that this eclipse is going to cause earthquakes and tsunamis. I want people to stay away from a couple of things for the next couple of weeks, especially through this month, if you can. Number one, don't go on cruises. Okay, do not go on a cruise. If you want to take you live off a lake, you take a little boat here and there, that's fine. I'm not talking about a day cruise off of the lake. I'm talking about you're going, on your Alaskan cruise or whatever, your Caribbean cruise, your Gulf cruise. Don't do it. Also, if you don't need to drive by mountainous roads, like in upstate New York, they have mountainous roads. Some places in California, they have mountainous roads. Colorado, the Rocky Mountains, even in Taiwan, where this earthquake happened. And I've been there, so I know exactly what it looks like at Hualien. The rocks will start falling down from the mountains and you cannot escape it. So just be careful around mountains. Don't drive near mountains. Don't be near mountains unless you absolutely need to, because that's where you live.
Really good, really, really good advice. I've had a lot of people in my personal readings. Oh, wait a minute. Before I forget, I want to do a shout out to my soul sister, Sharon Fairchild. Sharon, I'm wearing the cross you gave me. Thank you so much. I
Oh, it's
love you.
beautiful, Delphi.
And yeah, she sent me this. You can't see it, but there's two cardinals on it. Beautiful.
No, this is so
Yes, so beautiful. And I'm wearing my feng shui, Sharon. Thank you. And I
beautiful.
want to give a shout out to my soul sister, Carrie K. She's always sending me, who's in the chat. Carrie's Crystals, Carrie's underscore Crystals. Instagram, thank you, my soul sister. You guys are always so good to me. You send me stuff all the time. So before I forget. So I wanted to talk about, and I know that you've been asked this too in your readings. Everyone's asking me, should I take this trip? Should I take this trip? Should I take this trip? Okay, this is so hard. I can't, Sarah and I cannot tell you, after if you've spent thousands of dollars on,
Yeah.
airfare, we're not going to tell you not to take your trip. Okay. You can't give that to us. Okay. We'll give you as much as possible, but you're going to it has to come down to your discretion and your intuition. Okay. Personally, I wouldn't go anywhere in the next 3 months. However, that's just me. I'm not telling you what to do. However, you just have to be very smart and just know that we are living in dangerous times. So you just have to be very smart and use your intuition. Use your intuition. If personally, there's no amount of money. I could have spent thousands of dollars, and at the day I'm going to pop on a plane, if my guides tell me to not get on the plane, I'm not getting on the plane.
Not going.
Right.
Absolutely. You
Right.
have to trust your intuition. We can tell
Right.
you certain things, but the thing is, most times we can't tell you this is going to happen to you on this exact day. That just doesn't work
Right.
like that. That's a misconception about psychics. People are like, well, then why don't you just play the lottery and why aren't you a millionaire? It's like, that doesn't work like that. The guides
Right.
tell us what we need to know. And if they wanted us to win the lottery, then they tell us. But obviously that's not happening. So
Yeah, and they don't tell us everything. If it's in your if it's in your soul's contract to go through something, and if us telling you is going to impede your spiritual growth, there's things that they won't tell us. So just so you know.
Yeah.
But just everyone just really needs to be very, very vigilant and be very cognizant of their surroundings. Heads on the swivel the next couple of months, right, sister?
Yes, exactly. I'm not saying don't go take that day trip, whatever. I mean, I'm going to go take a day trip on Sunday, 45 minutes away from my house, but I don't have to drive on mountain roads and there's no ocean. So I know I'll be okay. But I would not take a plane on the week of the eclipse unless I absolutely felt like it was fine, but I don't feel that way for most people right now.
Right. Now, the big question that everyone is waiting the answer to. What do you think? First of all, Taiwan, what was it? God? Was it the alliance? What say you, Sarah?
I feel like it was God. I feel like it was God. I feel like it was a natural event. When I saw it and living there, I know how things work to a certain extent more than a lot of other people do because they weren't there.
Yes.
And I know, and my husband said to me, the first thing he says, you think that the news exaggerated the damage? And I said, well, yes and no, because I could see that area, it's very mountainous, more mountainous than most places. So I do feel like it was damaged, but I don't feel like the damage of like they're saying all these building collapse. They didn't, because they don't build like we do. They build like concrete fortresses there. That's how it's built. So one building kind of leaned over like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, but none of the other buildings folded over. But I really do feel like it is a real event that did happen. It was an act of God. Part of it is I feel it was a way to delay something with China is what I'm feeling, is a way to deter them from taking them over. And gosh, I hope your YouTube channel doesn't get taken down by this, because I know, there's a big controversy about this, but I live there and I will tell you, it is a very free place to live, Taiwan. Especially as a woman, it is very safe. I took the subway by myself at night. I went for very long walks by myself with my little floofy dog at nighttime, and nobody bothered me. There's little old ladies walking around. It's very safe. But I just feel like there was something there to deter the PRC, the People's Republic of China, from taking over the ROC, Republic of China.
Yeah. No, I think we're good. It's just that we can't do anything that's going to, those theories, conspiracy theory things.
Yes, I know. I know what you're saying, girlfriend. What do you think? Do you think it was an act of God, or do you think it was the alliance, or do you think it was a combination?
I think it was the first one was an act of God. I don't know if there was I think it was an act of God, and it's biblical. All right. It's biblical. And, it was predicted. I mean, Julie Green was talking about Taiwan, I don't know, like last week and months ago when she said it.
Wow.
So and she's not the only one. There are a few. I also think Amanda Grace. So it was predicted. I do think it was biblical, and I do think you're right. And I do think that there are some things going down. I think the reasoning that you said, but I also think there is some really horrible things happening below that God wanted to clear out.
Yes, 100%.
Those dummy things, those unintelligent things up down below, the dummy things.
Yes, in the basement.
in the basement. Exactly. So yes, I do think it was God. I think yeah, and I do think at some point too, Mother Gaia is going to be like, I've had enough of you and flick us around like fleas, you know.
I think so too. It's gonna be strange. But what I keep telling people is this: even we can tell you this is gonna happen. You can listen to another channel and they can tell you that's gonna happen. But there's nothing you can do to fully prepare physically for what's coming. Some people are very scared. They're saying, well, I better go get this groceries and that groceries. Eventually, those groceries are going to run out. So just rely on faith and rely on the fact that things always work out for God's people. They always work out for God's people.
Right.
God's not
Right.
going to put you in a situation to starve to death because you didn't, collect 25 years of MREs or whatever. That's nonsense. That's just not how it works.
Right. And you're not going to die of starvation. And if we lose electricity for a little bit, I don't think it's going to be long. And they're not going to let people that depend on oxygen tanks and people freeze or whatnot. So
No.
we just all need to just breathe. All right.
Mhm.
We're all going to be good. We're all going to be good no matter what. Now,
Yes.
now that we talked about the T word, those people, what about this morning? What say you? Do you think God, alliance, a little bit of both? What do you think
A
could
little
happen
bit
in
of
New
both.
Jersey?
I think it's a little bit of both. The astrology is the same for everywhere, okay? Jupiter conjunction Uranus, there's going to be earthquakes. I also feel like it's going to come to other major cities too. And I saw some people already talking about this in the chat about how the night before the earthquake happened, um, lightning struck Lady Liberty. And I think
Mhm.
it's very symbolic. That's also a weather event, Jupiter conjunction Uranus. So yeah, I do feel like there's something there. And I do feel like the alliance knew it was coming and they cleared out some things, like you said, Delphi.
Yep. Yeah, I agree 1000%. I think it's a little bit of both. And speaking of that lightning strike, we all know that Lady Liberty is really a demonic satanic statue. She represents, I believe she represents some kind of harlot, or I don't know, she doesn't represent freedom and liberty. Okay. She's some kind of demonic entity.
Right.
I think it's something like, I don't know what it is. However, that was another prophecy that when something went, I think it was another Julie Green prophecy when the lightning strikes the Statue of Liberty and it struck the fire.
Yeah, the
Okay.
torch, the torch.
The torch. That's another thing. So, and I am also about fire, fire, fire. And now I don't watch the news, but I keep on hearing Ring of Fire. And I texted that to you, Sarah, and you said it was the Pacific Ridge. So
Yeah.
what are you getting? So why am I getting the Ring of Fire? Do you think there's going to be more shaking, grooving and moving and
Shake
shaking
and
in
bake.
that area?
Shake and bake. Shake and bake. Yes,
Big
absolutely.
baby.
Yeah, because that ring of fire that represents the Pacific plates. Okay, that's what that's called. So the ring of fire, you can find a picture of it online. If you Google it right now, Delphine, you can probably find the graphic of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google it right now.
Yeah, so it
While you talk.
represents
Okay.
all this plate where basically like there's all these faults, and it goes, I believe, from like Asia all the way to like right here at like the west coast of North America. So that's where volcanoes, tsunamis, earthquakes all happen. And I feel like it's gonna blow, guys. It's gonna blow. Gaia is shifting. I keep on saying Gaia is shifting. There you go. There's the ring of fire. So we have this is why some people think that, Africa and South America used to be as one. So we see right here, there's the ring of fire. You have Australia, you
Yeah,
have,
sorry, I can't do it. I wish I could make it bigger, but
it's
that's as big as
okay.
I can get it.
It's okay. You have South America, you have the West Coast, all the way to
Yeah,
Alaska, to Russia,
yeah,
all the way
all
to the
over
Asian
here.
countries, like the Polynesia and the Micronesia, Indonesia,
Mm-hmm.
all those places. Yeah, and it causes tsunamis.
Wow.
That's why, like, When California has an earthquake, they're concerned about tsunamis all the way over in Japan or vice versa.
Yeah, so there's just definitely going to be more seismic activity for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're all having downloads about it, so
Yeah,
it's
and
happening.
it's happening. So everything, it's all biblical, it's all prophetic, it's all astrological, it's all geological, it's all scientific, it's all spiritual.
It's
You
all
pick
playing.
your exactly. So things are moving and grooving. It is not business as usual. So even though we all wanted it done yesterday and we're all ready, if anyone thinks that it's business as usual and things aren't happening, you are in a coma.
Yeah, yeah. It's not business as usual. This is going to be very healing. Okay, do not be afraid, but we're about to all get huge upgrades. Another download I got from it, Delphine, and you can pull cards about it if you want to, of course.
Yeah, let me get my cards ready.
Yeah. So this thing with the food recall, I keep on getting food recall. And part of it is because asteroid Ceres, which represents nurturing, is right now, it's right now in Capricorn, which represents governments, and that's squaring the eclipse. So I wonder if there's going to be some kind of contamination because of some kind of earthquake or something with the food supply, like the food recall. So I'm not sure if it's like a contamination or because of something natural or something that's planned. So see what you can get from that, because I'm not getting a clear message.
Well, they definitely started with the foods. Okay, so I definitely think that the what happened in Baltimore was many things. I think they wanted to clog up that harbor because that's a major portway, but they also wanted to stop the supply of food. Okay, so that's first and foremost. Um, so what fell out right off the bat was the Empress and the High Priestess. So what
Mm,
I'm getting is that they're definitely putting stuff in our food. So to take out the nutrition and the healing. So there's definitely I'm getting like things that will make us sick.
mm.
Okay. All right, definitely. And I think that there will be a recall because I feel like they're gonna find. I feel like something really bad.
That's
Like
what I keep on getting
I'm
too.
getting okay, this is awful. I'm getting arsenic. Are you getting that?
I'm getting something of that nature. It's like
Really
some
bad, like
poison.
really, really bad.
That's what I'm getting. Do you maybe
Okay.
like fentanyl? What if like could it be
Ooh,
that?
yes. Yeah, they're still deciding. It's either or. Yeah,
Yeah, too.
they're planning something. They're
Yeah.
planning something. I think I don't know. I got arsenic, but I do see fentanyl too.
It's possible because I get two of swords. There's just something coming with that. It keeps on coming back in my mind. And the astrology supports it. Not that I want it to happen. Once again, I don't want it to happen.
Yeah, there's something going on. I got the tower.
Oof.
So I think there's going to be, but I'm getting it's not. I'm getting things are tainted, but I'm getting and let me know what you get, Sarah. I'm getting that they didn't do it to like big batches. I'm getting that because they don't want it traceable, that they did it here and there in
Yeah.
different areas.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting to. Like, it's not as prevalent as they're going to make it out to be. And I feel like the news media is going to exaggerate it. So we freak out.
Right. Because they want a lot aggressive. They want people to get aggressive.
Mhm.
They want movement. They want to shake things up and get people aggressive and into ego and fighting. Yes, they're trying to instigate, very much so. But yeah, Sarah, I feel that there is going to be a recall because I feel like they're going to find so I feel like someone's going to get really sick,
Yeah.
right? Someone's going to get really sick and then they're going to trace it back. Um, wow.
That's what I feel
Yeah,
too.
they're really we knew that they were going to pull out all the stops and we know that it's going to get worse before it gets better. And we're not saying this to scare people, but we know that what happens to an animal when it's backed into a corner, it's going to fight till its death, right? And it's going to pull out all the stops. So we know this. So we just have to really, really keep our eye on the prize and just know the worse that it gets is actually the better. Because now
Yeah.
it's like it's not business as usual, right?
Right. And
Anything
also
without this movement.
Right. We're progressing. We are
Right.
progressing. This is good. Delphine, have you heard about, and I saw the comment too, we were talking about this earlier about the airplanes or the helicopters that are going to go over Philly. What do we think that's about?
Yeah. Is that the text that you sent me earlier?
Yes, and
The
someone else
email?
confirmed it here in the chat. They said something about these planes getting ready to fly over Philly or go to Philly, and somebody said it in the chat about Allentown, that they're going to refuel like from PA to Philly. So I wonder what that's all about. Yeah. So yeah, well,
Let
Allentown to Philly, that's not far, but I
Is
wonder
it
what.
in the chat? Let me see if I can
Yeah.
find it. Pull it up.
Well, yeah, it's the same place. I mean, relatively, because Allentown's a suburb of Philly. I just
Because I
wonder.
remember you texted me about a bunch of planes going over, like a bunch of military.
Yeah, let me see
Um,
that. Military, Philadelphia.
Let me see if I can find it in the chat.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. You talk a lot, which I love, but sometimes it's hard to
I
find stuff.
know, right?
I
Yeah.
love it though. I love that you guys are always talking in the chat. Um, I probably can't find it. I can pull cards on it, or I can
Yeah.
Google it and we can pull cards on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to Google it. It's not
All right,
on
let me.
here. Searches.
Is it that is it that text? Because I did
That's the
send that
text.
text that all right, I can bring up that text because I
Yeah.
sent it to my email. All right, let me bring it
Okay.
up. All right, I got it. This is it.
'Cause I just wonder if that has something to do.
Yes, all right, hold on. This is from your Facebook. Or at least it's a little bit of a visual.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to take a screenshot from Facebook. I didn't edit it.
Yeah. But this is good. I think I'll be able to blow it up. Yeah, because anything that comes to my through my email I can blow up. Okay, it says, so the local news station just informed us that 70 military copters are going to be flying over our airspaces this weekend heading to Philly. They also stated it's no need to be alarmed as this is a part of an exercise. Sure.
70. It's a lot.
I think that I think it's too. I'm going to pull cards, but I'd like to see what I get first before I pull cards. I think it's a double whammy of they're preparing for the shenanigans of the deep dark cult because they're going to, and I feel like they're going to use. I keep on getting they're going to use all this time as opportunity to clear out and get the worst, and get rid of all the demonic activity.
It's what I'm getting to. I feel like
Right.
somebody is about to exit stage left.
Yes. And we should pull about that because I remember what you texted me. All right. I'm
Mhm.
going to ask. All right. So, Lord God and Yeshua Jesus, do you want to confirm what Sarah and I just got about the 70 military jets and copters flying over Philly? Is it a combo platter of getting ready to make sure to protect the masses from any dark, deep state shenanigans and also to clear out the rest of the demons? Let's see what I get. I'm just going to pull 3 cards. I think it's pretty much that, or a combination of both. Oh yeah, they're moving quick because they want to get rid of that. They
Ooh,
want they want they want to they want to make sure that they mitigate any
mhm.
damage and they want to prevent this, but I also getting they want to end the deep state. Very
Yes,
much
that's
so.
exactly what I'm getting.
Yeah, and a lot of things that are happening behind closed doors, like in secret. And I'm also getting there's a lot of galactics because the Hermit's my galactic card.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and I think this is what this eclipse is about. It's a whole
Right,
new world. This
right.
is an Aries energy is military energy. So, do we feel that Brandon, I could say that, is
Yes,
about
we
to
can.
is
40,
about to
46 or Brandon. Yeah, 46 or Brandon. Is he
Brandon,
going to exit stage left, skip out the back, Jack?
um, let's look.
I'm gonna let you pull on this
Yeah.
one.
I'm gonna pull an oracle card too.
Okay. As our Jason would say, we are waiting with bated breath. Give it to us straight. Sarah Ashley.
I'm going to look at his chart too in a minute, but okay. Ooh, okay. Okay. So crazy.
Oh my
We
God, I
all
love it.
know, okay, the Fool card and all that glitters. This means that the person that is in there right now is fake. This is
Hmm.
validation, confirmation that it's fake. That's all BS. But I feel like this is going to end that cycle. Like it's going to reveal it. Like the mask is off. Because usually I read the
Ooh,
Fool card as like a new cycle, but I mean, this is a new cycle. This, like, that's what an eclipse is. It's a brand new cycle. It's Aries energy. It's also a brand new cycle. But with these two together, because there's a mask here, in the Fool card is kind of, you could have that connotation too, like where we have been fooled. We have been
mm-hmm.
fooled. So I think in this connotation, it's like we've been fooled and everyone's going to see it. It's going to be revealed in a
Yeah.
massive way. It's just
And
exciting.
maybe it
Excited.
is exciting. And maybe we're going to have our Scooby-Doo moment and someone's going to take the mask off the fool.
See Jim Carrey. A
Wouldn't that
mess.
be awesome?
I'd pee my pants, Lady D.
I would too. That would be phenomenal.
It would be.
Yeah. I keep on getting so I think for him, I don't think it's going to be enough to just exit him and I don't think there's going to be a perp walk. I think there's going to be some kind of health event. What do you think?
Yes, I think so too. I think so too. They'll say, "Oh, he had a something happen." Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Something, something, something. Yeah, exactly. Because if he's fine and he's in health, if he's healthy, then he's going to have to pay the piper and face all those charges, and it just makes things very hard on, you know, the liberals. So I feel like if they're going to want to get him, that's the cleanest, easiest way to get rid of that problem, so to speak.
yeah. But he had a stroke and he's in Afton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
At
Things
least they won't have
like
to change any more diapers. I know it's so bad. It's so, so, so bad. All right. So, Sarah, one question I have to ask you. Is it really bad to look at the eclipse? There's people online that said they need glasses. There's other people that say that you can. What's the deal here? I don't know what to believe. Will you go
just
blind if you look at the eclipse?
I mean, I don't know, but I wouldn't fuck around and find out about it. That's for sure. I mean, listen, we don't need a whole generation of blind people out here. So I feel like it's fine to look with the glasses. Now, there are a few TikTokers out there saying you're going to like get some kind of weird spell, juju, bad, dark energy on you if you look at the eclipse through the glasses. Nothing like just Chrissy, like nothing's going to happen to you. It's an event. It's going to be very cool. Don't burn out your retina, get proper eyewear. But this is once in a lifetime for us in the United States. And with that comet and everything, it's gonna be so cool to see this. I'm ready. I'm gonna be watching. That's for sure.
Right. It's every day that I am on social media, it gets like the hysteria, the eclipse hysteria gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
It
And
does.
you know what? Good or bad, I say bring it on. I'm not afraid at all. I'm
No, no,
going out. I'm
no,
going to get my eclipse glasses and I'm going to go out. Okay? I'm not we can't live in fear, folks. We just
no,
can't. We
no,
can't live in fear.
no. And you know, God, this is God created. It's not man-made. I know there's that rumor too that it's man-made. I can't, anyways,
I
but
know. I know.
it's not
Now,
man-made.
no, Sarah, did we talk about you'd mentioned that what was it, that comment that was like the devil comment? Did we talk
Yeah.
about that? We'd already talked about
A
that?
little bit. I think we talked about last week on Jason's show that it's called a devil comet because of the pattern it has. Like it looks like it's horns and a
Mm-hmm.
tail, but it was named that like a few years ago, but it's not its real scientific name. There's a real scientific name. It's very boring, but it's from the Andromeda constellation. And that's something else about this eclipse that in Greek mythology, that the Andromeda constellation is supposed to have this big fight with fixed star Cetus, the serpent. So that's another
Wow.
reason why it's kind of prophetic, this eclipse, because if you think about Andromeda, like the Andromedan star seeds are here to liberate us. So this fixed star, like everything has an energy, right? There's good, there's evil, so I feel like that earthquake energy can kind of throw off people's feelings of liberation. But just know that just keep moving forward. Don't get worried about what's going on because it's happening for a reason. It's happening for all of us. It's happening to heal this world. There's a lot of healing that needs to go on. A lot of
Right.
healing.
Right. This eclipse is a natural eclipse. It's not man-made. It was made by God. And anything that is made by God is not going to harm us. Okay. Yes. We all know that the deep dark cult, the bad guys, all right, they're going to try to use this to their advantage. We keep on getting, of course, the good side is going to try to use all this energy for the good, and the bad's going to use it for the bad. So we just have to use our intuition, be vigilant, be smart, use your intuition, go by your gut. Don't override your gut with any reason. If something doesn't smell right, if your gut says don't go, don't go. If someone says that this isn't right, now is not the time to override your intuition and gut. We are being upgraded. The veil is almost non-existent. So
Yes.
now is the time that we're getting our spiritual gifts. So this is the time to really use to connect with our higher self and use our inner guides. Now,
Absolutely.
Sarah, I wanted to get your take on what's going on with the NASA. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
Also, on Eclipse Day, not only are we having everything that's going on, NASA at the same time, it says, why is NASA jets will chase the April 8th total solar eclipse? So I guess what's happening is that they're planning on shooting rockets into the line of the eclipse. And they say they're doing this for, I don't know, some kind of data and to get some information and some kind of scientific blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I don't know. I don't trust them. What say you?
I don't trust them either at all. At all. Because
Yeah,
listen, NASA, they've been up to a lot of false false events. I do
right.
believe that there is a moon, but I don't believe that they were on the moon. If you look
I
at those,
don't either.
no, come on now. There's so many. It was filmed at Laurel Canyon. Don't even get me started. Anyways,
Right. We've
it
all
was
seen the videos of them making the false moon tapes. Okay. We've all seen it. It's been around since the 60s. Not one of us has not seen it.
yeah,
Okay.
it's
They
complete.
faked it.
It's completely impossible. It's impossible. Not saying that they haven't, had like, spaceships go up to the stratosphere. I'm not saying that. Yes, they have. They absolutely have, but they faked the moon landing 100%. Anyways, they're
Hmm.
full of shit, NASA. The reason why they're doing this, what I feel is they're trying to somehow interfere with the energy. That's what I'm hearing, like some kind of frequency or vibration. They're trying to interfere with the frequency and the vibration of the eclipse. So I feel like somehow these rockets are going to explode. It's going to backfire, literally. That's what I'm getting. I'm going to pull some cards about it, but I feel like it's
Yeah.
going to literally backfire. Yeah, Blue. It looked like the Flintstones.
And there's a shout out to Angel of Death. I believe she's I believe we know this soul sister
Yes,
here.
yes, yes, we do.
Hi, Angel of Death. Yes, I heard that too. NASA means deceive in Hebrew.
Interesting. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
deception.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I got 3 of Cups with not for you. So what this is telling me, yes, there's like 3 cups, like third party situation. They're trying to interfere with this and it's not going to work out for them at all.
Yeah.
They're trying to
Yeah.
interfere with the frequency because this is a very healing eclipse and they don't want us receiving it. And this is mainly for the United States, the whole world, yes. But this eclipse shadow is going over our country, over, I believe, Mexico and Canada too. So for North America, they don't
Mm-hmm.
want us receiving the frequencies. That's what I'm hearing. What are you hearing, Lady D?
Yeah, I actually pulled I forget where I pulled and I got the same thing. I don't know whose show I was it was either the Light Warrior Network on Sunday or mine. I got the same exact thing that they're gonna try to interrupt with CERN, and they're gonna try to with NASA, they're gonna try to interrupt with the energies for sure. And I believe that NASA is 1,000% satanic. They had a 6-hour ceremony at the very beginning, and they have the goddess Shiva as
Ooh.
they bring her out and they do a ceremony, and Shiva is the goddess of chaos and destruction.
Oh,
So
wow.
why would they bring that statue out and do a 6-hour ceremony before they do anything for the goddess Shiva?
Mm-mm.
And if you will notice, every one of their missions, they name it after something type of demonic. Like
That's true.
they name it, a mission will be demonic. Their symbolism is very much demonic and very tied into, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So with that too, I feel like they they've done things like this before, and maybe we even haven't been aware of it in the
Hmm.
past.
Oh yeah, they've done it so many times. There's symbolism in everything. Everything is a meaning with them. That's the one thing we know, that everything has a meaning. The date, everything is symbolic with them.
Right, the
So yeah,
numerology, everything. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, and
yes.
also because this eclipse is with Eris, which is the goddess of discord, fixed star, asteroid Eris, which is in Aries right now. That's another thing. So if they worship Shiva, which is also like the same, it's the same energy, right? Because different cultures have different names for the same entity, right? So one's Greek, one's, Indian, whatever. That's what they're trying to evoke, is what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Unbelievable. So, Sarah, do you believe that with CERN, when the baddies, the whole purpose of CERN, the purpose of building the Hadron Collider, do you believe that they really wanted to open up a portal and bring in demonic entities? What do you think was the original purpose for the Hadron Collider in CERN in Switzerland?
I feel like the original intent and purpose was to create chaos. It also was to confuse people. It was to lower people's vibration. I keep on seeing that they wanted people to become violent and commit acts of demonic violence like they do, except in public. So they were trying to have a public sacrifice. But like I said, we always say this, the light always wins. There's light and there's dark, and the light always outshines the dark.
Ooh, I love it. It's true. It really is true. Yep. They tried everything. Everything that I read online is that they were trying to recreate the God particle, but you can't
No,
recreate perfection. You
no,
can't
there's no way.
recreate. And that's the one thing, when you separate from God, you lose your ability to create.
That's right. And
Yep.
that's
So
why
good luck with that.
the dark always mimics. They can't do anything original. Notice that about demonic people. Okay, like I'm even just gonna mention like P. Diddy. He didn't create anything. He used all those people. He was
Right.
using them, right? So
Right.
he never created, you could say, well, he created a business. No, he stole somebody else's business. That's why he killed all those people, because he
Yep.
took their business from them. So
Yep.
he never created anything original. They were all stolen goods.
All right. And I'm glad we brought up P. Diddy, because everyone's been talking about P. Diddy, P. Diddy, P. Diddy. So let's kind of, as Jason would say, let's kind of switch topics right now and get back to, we talked about all that. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? Any caveats, any words of wisdom before we get to the downfall of the entertainment industry?
Just keep on vibing high. Don't worry about this eclipse. It's going to be what it's going to be. Yes, we're going to have earthquakes. Yes, there could be some flooding and tsunamis. If you don't live near the oceans, I wouldn't be scared. Even if you do live near the oceans, please don't be scared. You will be safe. We're all divinely protected and divinely guided.
I couldn't have said it any better. I second that emotion. Like Sarah said, the dark is nothing. The dark is dirt beneath our shoe. Light. How do you destroy dark? You turn on the light. We are so much more powerful. God, the infinite creator that created everything, is more powerful than the bad guys, okay? The creator is always more powerful than the creation. As Julie Green says, the creation will never be more powerful than the creator. So these dummies, these arrogant asses that have been ruling the world, right? They know that their time is up and they're dumb, okay? No one said that evil's smart. If you are dumb enough to believe that you are more powerful than God, then you get what's coming to you.
Mhm.
Exclamation point.
Exactly. God,
Right.
hashtag don't test me. That's what he's always like. Don't test me. Don't test me. I'm going to show you. You don't want to test. God ain't playing. You
Oh,
test.
don't even. You see, God, I wish God would come down. Oh, don't even.
It's so
I
funny.
wonder if like God like just gets up there, like he's looking down, like, seriously, like really, really.
I'm sure he does like 10 times every second, Delphine. Seriously.
All right. Great words of advice. Now let's get to demonic Hollywood. Now, I've been getting for the last 6 months, and you've also got this too, that Hollywood is done. All right.
It's
Hollywood is down. We've been saying it for a long, long time that it's going down. The whole entertainment industry is demonic. We know what they do. It's not a secret.
no.
And that it has to, like, the tower moment has to happen. It has to burn to the ground in order to be rebuilt. And when it is rebuilt, it's going to be a godly, artistic, creative community in which we are going to use our artistic abilities, which come from God. Okay. There is no creation and no art without God. And we're going to get all of our inspiration, whether it's music, screenplays, acting, it's all going to be God based. And there's going to be no celebrities. No celebrities, because celebrities are false idols. So there's not going to be no autographs. So and people thinking that because you're on television or you sing a song that you walk on water.
Right.
So I wanted to get your take on that, and then I wanted to let's talk about the hip hop and who we think is next on the domino effect, as
Oh
we
my
say.
goodness. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so we've been talking about this for months. It's because the era of Pluto and Aquarius is here. Okay. It's going to dip back into Pluto and Capricorn around election time. And I feel like that is when all these baddies are going to really be taken down. So yeah, the fall election time is going to be extra spicy, extra dramatic, extra interesting. It's like the season finale. We're almost there to the season finale. But Pluto and Aquarius is all about power to the people. It's everybody. It's everybody, right? Because last time Pluto was in Aquarius, we had French Revolution, American Revolution. It's not about these royals, okay? Like literally, like the royals that we're seeing now going down. Delphine, I kind of want to like nuance a little bit of what you said. I think everybody who has a talent will be well known for their talent, but people won't idolize them the same way they idolize now, like put them on this pedestal. So just like Delphine and I are here to inspire, and you guys, all 669 of you are watching. Thank you so much right now. We're inspiring. Yeah. Yeah. We're inspiring you right now, but you guys aren't like, Delphine and Sarah are perfect. If you think that we're perfect, then you are very mistaken. But yes, I guess we're no, I'm just kidding. Anyways, but this is how
You're
it's going
very
to be.
mistaken.
Right, right. So this is how it's going to be from now on. People are going to have their own platforms. They're going to create their own companies, and there's not going to be these same kind of gatekeepers anymore. Those gatekeepers are really being decimated right now. People like Diddy, people like Harvey Weinstein, and there's more that I'm sure we don't even know about because they're not really famous. They're just famous or infamous in those circles. So those gatekeepers are completely going down, and we're going to start creating our own systems and our own companies for creative control, if you will. So we know who gets through and who doesn't. If someone isn't, aligned, then that's okay. Say la vie to them. But I feel like people are just going to have their own content and their own channels, just like what we're doing now. It's going to be more like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, there's not going to be, like you said, the idolizing, the, thinking that, people just because when you think about it, how nuts it is.
Mhm.
Everybody's just, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a celebrity or not, you're a human being.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's great. I'm very much looking forward to that because celebrities had way too much power, you
they
know,
did.
and it was all I mean, Hollywood entertainment was all created to control, manipulate, and to brainwash us. And
Definitely.
the more the more we learn about how the three letter agencies are very much control Hollywood, it's very I'm very, very happy that it's going to be done. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Yeah,
Jack
Jack,
Atlantis. Thank you so much,
thank
Jack Atlantis.
you.
That's very sweet. What did he say? Oh, so true. Pluto, Aqua, oh, somebody who knows their
He's an
astrology, Sarah
astrology.
Ash.
He's an astrologer. Yeah. He's a big fan of yours, Delphine.
Thank you so much, Jack's Atlantis. Jack's Atlantis. I love that. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, so I'm very excited about this. Now, since we're on the subject of Diddy and all that, we've been getting this another thing for months, and now it's coming out. I'm not going to play the video, but there are rumors all going around, going viral, that a certain, oops, I don't, did I do the wrong one? I
It's
think I
okay.
probably did the wrong one. It's like a big rabbit hole. Hold on.
I know it's how many screens? It's okay. It's okay, girlfriend. You got this. You
What's
got
that?
this.
Yeah, I got the rabbit hole. Where is it?
Yeah, while
There
you
we
look
go.
for
All
that,
right.
I'll explain the Uranus and Gemini. The
Yeah,
Gemini
you
is
do
all about
that.
communication. So what Jax is saying is that there's going to be different ways of communicating. And then Jupiter is going in Gemini in a little bit here too. So there's going to be new ways of communicating. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Here we
right.
go.
Thank you. Thank you for astrologer to the soul tribe, goddess of the stars, Sarah Ashley.
You're
Love
welcome.
it. So, all right. So it is going all around that Beyonce is dumping Jay-Z. Okay. Now I got last week. I don't know if it was on my Sunday show with the Prince of Peace. I don't know what show with you. I don't know
We don't
mine.
know
So
anymore. So many
I don't
shows.
know anymore. So I was getting that. We all know that Beyonce. Well, I'm getting that a lot of people saying that this was an arranged marriage. Okay,
Oh,
that it was
absolutely.
very much so arranged marriage, and that he hasn't been treating her. Let's say he hasn't been respecting her. There's been a lot of drugging involved, a lot of passing around, and so word has it that she doesn't want to get implicated, so she's ready to dump him. So my question to you, so it says Beyonce dumps Jay-Z after feds leak him to Diddy's crime. 50 Cent exposes Beyonce's crimes. Okay. Now, first and foremost, we have to know that the deep state and the people that are the big players have to be done and gone because these people would not be speaking out now unless their lives, because they'd be afraid to lose their lives. So we have to know
Right.
that they're speaking out now because the people that they're speaking about are either been rounded up or unalived, right? We know
Mhm.
this.
Right.
Okay. So what's your take on Beyonce and Jay-Z in that scenario?
So I just looked at her chart real quick. Pluto
Okay.
is going through her fourth house. So the fourth house is your family. Okay. So Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mother, arranged this. Okay.
Yep.
She sold her daughter out, just like Kris Jenner did to Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
So Pluto's going over her fourth house. But why that's even more significant is because her south node is at 0 Aquarius. South node is the past. So when we have Pluto south node, some past karma, doesn't mean past life karma, but past karma, all the receipts are going to come up about the family. So I feel like she is ready to dump the receipts, not just on Jay-Z, but on Tina as well. I feel like this is gross, but it's not. I feel like Tina and Jay-Z have hooked up in the past. I feel like he's hooked up with the mom and he tried to hook up with the sister. He tries to hook up with as many people as possible. That's the download that I'm getting. So I feel like she is ready to flush him and the mom down the toilet if it saves her ass. That's what I'm getting.
That makes sense. What about her father? because her father was her original manager. Do you think that he was also diddly doing?
I think he diddly do with the ditty. Ooh, ah, diddy diddy dum diddy do. Oh my god. Talking it's hilarious. They all did the ditty.
Yeah,
Yes,
there's too
absolutely.
much diddling, a whole lot of diddling going on. We need to stop that.
They're
Yeah.
well, listen, like I said, gatekeepers.
Yes.
And Diddy
Right.
was the gatekeeper at the time, and he was
Right.
until like a few minutes ago here.
Right.
Unfortunately, and this
Right.
is how a lot of people pass through. And the people who didn't want to do it, they didn't get to that level. They just didn't.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's all in this, like Diddy is the domino, and they're all going to come down now, and everyone's involved. We have Prince Harry's involved, and that doesn't surprise me.
You
They're all going down. This is it's unbelievable. You know, so many people tried to talk about this years ago, all right? And they were blackballed, they were called crazy, and now it's all coming out now. So, Sarah, besides we know that hip hop is very much this culture, all right? It's all the music industry, but hip hop especially with, we all I'm listening. There's a lot of hip hop songs that I love. I mean, it's like I love Snoop, and there's Dr. Dre songs that I love too, and it's really sad that they're all connected and involved.
Yeah.
But what say you about, do you think, what's the next industry beside that's going to be connected? Do you see it, do you see it, it's the music, and then it's going to probably bleed to Hollywood, Oprah, all these people. And then how do you see the domino effect of this Diddy, so to speak?
So I feel like, especially with Oprah, because people are just done with her. They are just
Yeah,
fed up with her because,
especially after
there
Maui.
yeah, ever since Maui, but, even before then with Harvey Weinstein,
Yeah.
she was close with Bill Cosby, she was close with John the God, who was, just a terrible predator.
Yes.
So it's going to go connect to her and then all the other people that are around her. Um, so it's going to be people with her. I feel like some of the news industry. So, Gail King, those kind of people. And then also, like, they're kind of showing me like a spider web. So, like, the main part of the spider web is the hip hop industry, like a spider graph. I forgot what it's called, like a web graph. In the middle circle, it's hip hop industry. And then there's all these legs coming out. So, one of them is the news media. And
Mm-hmm.
then we're going to have sports because a lot of the athletes hung out with Diddy. So I feel like the freak off parties, you have a lot of athletes there because a lot of times the athletes overlap with the hip hop industry. I don't think as many actors are involved, but I do feel like it's a lot of the athletics and then some of the news industry as well.
Yeah, very much so. It's starting to come out now. There's I watched on Benny Johnson, that there was a CNN reported that she was a whistleblower, and she came out and she gave one of the scripts, and she was like, everything was scripted by like all the questions that she could ask by.
Oh my
So
gosh. No
yeah, it's
surprise.
all coming out now. It's all coming out now. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
All coming
So
to the surface.
right. Now, Sarah, let's talk about, so we all know the entertainment industry is going, and we know that, okay, everyone asks about money. I mean, almost every reading I get, people ask about money, and there's like really no specific date. I mean, we all know that it's all set, it's all ready to go. This is an event-based war. Obviously things have to happen. There has to be certain things, everything, all the ducks have to be in row before
Yeah.
it happens. So what say to you, Sarah, and all the people in the readings that go, what's going to happen? When is RV? Blah, blah, blah. What do you say with those people in the readings?
I tell people, okay, invest wisely. Okay. So don't invest in, risky schemes. I tell people invest in precious metals if you're going to invest because precious metals will always hold their value. And
Mm-hmm.
something else I've been getting lately is that the bubble is about to pop. So wait till the bubble pops, because if you have money, and a lot of people aren't going to, like in 2008, remember that? I feel like all of us are old enough to remember that in this room. But if you weren't, there was the mortgage crisis. So a lot of people bought these bubble loans, and then when they bought more house than they could afford, and then when the loan went up, to 14, 15, 16, 17% interest rate, they couldn't afford it. And then there was too many houses on the market and not enough people to buy them. So if you have money and you're not one of those people who are in over their head, you're going to be able to buy some land. And I would invest in some good farmland, okay? Rich farmland with wheat, corn, even some animals, put some animals on that land. And I feel like that's where things are going to grow, because as we get off of big agra and big pharma, people are going to want, real, like, local food. So
Right.
that's what I would invest in once the bubble bursts. And I feel like it's going to burst in the next couple months, because the war machine is ratcheting up with the Jupiter conjunct Uranus. With money, I feel like the bubble is about, I just keep hearing the bubble is about to burst. It's about to burst.
Yeah, me too. And I keep on, and they've been, my guides keep on giving me this scenario of an analogy of a car that's been, that's running on empty. It only can go so far and then it dies. And
Yeah.
that's the economy. Now, a lot of people, there's some people that may know this or might not know this, that I forget which date, but very recently, the banks are not allowed to loan money anymore. Okay. They don't have the money to loan. And now they used to be able to loan. So now, like all they're not allowed to loan any money out because there's no money to be loaned. It used to be that they had carte blanche and they could just go and loan, but now that
Right.
it's like
Right.
before they give out any loans, they have to go buy a pool because there's no money.
Yeah.
Also, what they don't have the protection. Because back in 2008, remember that whole thing with Obama, too big to fail? We
Mhm.
bailed out the banks, but we are not bailing out the banks anymore. And the banks don't have any money. So what do you think's going to happen eventually? And okay, obviously Sarah and I are not we're not economists, all right? We're not financial advisors. So, this is you can, this is we're just telling you what we're doing. We're not giving you advice. You have to do your own research. Don't take our advice for it. Do your own research. We're just telling you what we've done personally. And if it's helpful, but don't take our word for it. But I tell people precious metals, okay, that's what I bought, and I also am getting real estate. But I'm also getting to that everything it's going to collapse
Right.
because there is no money. All right. They don't have that. They used to be
Yeah.
able to lend and be very it's so funny. Like they expect us to have perfect credit scores and we have to have all these different credentials to get a loan, but they could just lend and be
Right.
very irresponsible. And then they had that little backup, like they had that like they could never fail. But they don't have that backup anymore. So that means that they have no money to loan. And if when they run out of money, that's it. That's why I've been saying if you have money in the bank, take it out. Because when they run out of money, what do you think they're
They're
going
going
to
to take
do?
your money. Yeah.
And it's
Wow.
already starting to happen. Okay. So just, take everything that even everything we say with a pinch of salt, do your own research, but be smart. Just know that just because the money's in the bank under your name doesn't mean that it's yours. The money's only yours when you have it physically in hand.
Right. The cash in hand. So just have some cash on hand. It's
Right,
always good advice to have some cash in hand. I should do that this
right, right. And I do feel it's going to happen within the next 3 months, but this is an event-based war, and there is no time on the other side, so we can't give you specifics. But
No,
we're,
no.
we're getting down to the home stretch now. Things
Yeah.
are really, really happening. The energies, the planets, everything's happening. We have eclipses, we have comets. So we're gonna get there, folks. Things are happening. So it's not like last year where we're sitting there like, Groundhog's Day going, oh, it's the same day over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So now that we can see the finish line, right? The finish
We can,
line
we
is
can
there.
see it. We can see it. It's coming soon. Another download I was getting as you were speaking, Lady D, about every time Pluto is in a fixed sign. Okay. So fixed So I'll tell you guys what fixed is. So the first fixed sign is Taurus, then Leo, then Scorpio, then Aquarius. We have some kind of huge money event in our country. Okay. So yes, the Great Depression started during Pluto and Cancer, but during Pluto and Leo, that's when the money started becoming like more flush again, because the World War II created like this huge military industrial complex. Okay. And
Hmm.
we had a lot of bonds, right? Because of the GI Bill, all those military bonds, so on and so forth. But if we go back even further to Pluto and Aquarius, the last time we had Pluto and Aquarius, when we had a revolutionary war in this country, there were multiple different kinds of currencies and people couldn't decide on which one. So I see something like that happening again now that we're back to Pluto and Aquarius. I was thinking about Pluto and Scorpio. That's around when I was born, and Wall Street and all the materialism, all that. But there's something to be said about the different kind of currencies that are going to be introduced. And we're not going to be able to decide on one for a while. I feel like it's going to take until Pluto goes into Pisces to get a unified currency. So that's going to be interesting, because I feel like different states or different territories, if you will, are going to have different kinds of currencies.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I think so too. Absolutely. So, Sarah, we've been on for about an hour and a half now. Um, I wanted to get your take on okay, so we know that this week is going to be pretty intense and
Yes.
the energies are going to be pretty intense. So
Yes.
I wanted to get your take on what we can do to sort of ground ourselves and kind of keep I get more moderation because I've a lot of people the last couple of weeks, their emotions have been kind of because of the energies and the full moon and everything. So what is if someone came to you and said, Sarah, I don't know what's going on. I'm doing all of my work. I'm meditating, I'm praying, I'm exercising, I'm grounding. I still can't regulate. My emotions are so up and down. What the fuck? What's wrong with me? What would you say to them? What's your advice to them, soul sister?
There's nothing wrong with you. Number one, we're all feeling it because we're feeling something, a big event happening. Okay. Because God gave us our bodies to be like an empath, like we're a monitoring system. We are we all have spiritual GPS, right? So we're all feeling something, right? We are like a seismograph. We know that there's some earth where there's movements of the earth, literal movements of the earth. We're all psychic, we're all intuitive, so we feel it. So yes, our energy is going to be off, but if you just accept that you have to release control of the situation, you have to surrender. Also, if we view this as cataclysmic and horrible, we're going to feel worried, we're going to feel scared, we're going to feel anxious, and that's lowering our vibration, so we're unable to receive the upgrade. Okay. So if you try to match the frequency of light and love, if you try to match the frequency of Christ consciousness, then you're going to feel a lot better, because you're going to know everything's going to be okay. Because no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. Also, spending time doing activities that you love with the people that you love. Get out in person as much as possible. As much as I love all of you on here, I love my family and I love my in-person friends too. So spending time off the phone, right? Off the computer, off the tablet, getting out of the house, being with other people, laughing with other people, enjoying the company of other people. That's what this is all about. That's why we're all here. Because think about it, if we have to recreate some things in a little bit here, we know it's coming. We're going to all have to work together. And we can't just work together over this platform, even though I think that's going to be very helpful for communication purposes, but we're going to have to work with our communities. And
Yeah,
getting out in your community and helping and being a helper. Like Mr. Rogers said, always look for the helpers, right? We have to be one of the helpers. That's
yeah,
how you're going to start to feel better. Just getting out of
right,
your house, talking to your neighbors.
right,
That's the best advice I can give people, besides everything else you just said, like grounding and exercising and getting sun and, drinking water and not eating junk food all day.
right.
Having faith over fear.
Exactly. and helping, we've isolated, and I understand that we have to be hermits, we have to isolate, but at some point we do have to go out and integrate. And I notice that when I get in my funk helping people, because when you're helping people and you take your mind off of your that constant rumination, and just when you're helping somebody else, you're distracted, and then it brings you up. So I do think that not only using your gifts, doing the things that you love, but helping people. What is it that you love to do? What brings you joy? And you how can you bring that joy to serve others? What can you do to bring somebody up?
Mhm.
That's really a beautiful thing. And also I'm getting to is that so many of us, we don't do things because, oh, that's, I'm not going to make money doing that. And we have to stop that. All right. We've been programmed that if something doesn't, if we don't get an immediate return, if we don't get money, which we all know is monopoly, if we don't get this instant, some kind of return or something from something, that it doesn't have any value. I'm getting that so many people have gifts that they're going to be using when the world changes, that they're going to be leveling up, but they're not practicing it now. And you don't have to wait until the crap hits the fan to do it.
Yeah.
If you want to be a healer, start healing. Take courses, practice on your friends. There's so many, I've done readings. There's so many now that are realizing they're animal communicators. And I've said, look, there's not a course that you're going to take. There's no college. Start communicating with animals and just trust it.
Yeah.
Anything that you're interested in, start practicing. If you want to start a healing, start taking active steps. Even if it's just even if you're just writing down the things that you want to do, or looking at, like, make a plan. Move in the direction of your passion. That's what you need to do.
Ooh, so powerful. That is so powerful, Delphine. Move in the direction of your passion.
Yeah,
Love that.
it's true, because that's what we're here for. And so many people, they think the things that they're passionate about is like, it's not, it's unrealistic, or it's, I'm crazy. But no, that's not. Things that you're passionate about is what you're supposed to be doing. You're passionate about it because that is for you. That's your path. Don't you think,
Amen.
Sarah?
Yes, yes. I remember when my students would, go to lunch or whatever, I would be reading about astrology. I'd be running charts, and sometimes I would like do somebody else's chart, a friend, not for
Mhm.
money, and help them over the phone. I'd be having a phone conversation. That's what I was doing all the time. And then it wasn't until over 4 years ago now. Gosh, time has gone really fast, Delphine. Jeez. Ever since
I know.
2020, it's crazy. My best friend, she said to me, she said, "Why don't you try doing this? Why don't you see what you can do?" And I said, "I can't do that." She said, "Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. And look where I am now." I mean, I was able to leave special education, which I love working with those kids, but I hit my limit because of the governmental regulations and all that mumbo jumbo. And I'm here and I love helping people. It does not feel like work. It feels just like living my life. It is, I feel like I'm completely in my purpose every day. Every day. And
Yep.
same with Delphine. I mean, Delphine used to have a 9 to 5, right? And it's not that you can't have
Yep.
a 9 to 5. That's not what we're saying. We're saying believe in yourself, because you never know where it's going to take you. You just don't know. You can,
Right.
if as long as it's bringing joy to you and joy to other people, then why not try?
Right. And what's the worst that can happen? If you fail, you fail. We've been programmed in society that failure means that, like you're a loser, or it's never going to happen. What is it? Einstein, what did he, like, he failed, like he said he failed 100,000 times before he got the electricity and the light bulb or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So what's so wrong? What's wrong with failing? You're never going to know until you try, right?
You don't know. And the thing is, you never really 100% fail if you're trying something that you like to, because you get the experience of it, right? There's so many things that I've done and it hasn't come to fruition, but at least I learned something. I got to know different people, right? You learn something about yourself, you gain wisdom. So why not?
Exactly. You have to turn, there's a silver lining in everything. Like you said, I had a 9 to 5 and I was laid off working for the state, big job, big money, big responsibility. At the time, I freaked out. And in retrospect, best thing that ever happened to me. It catapulted me and forced me to do what I'm doing full time. Because Spirit and God and Yeshua were telling me to do it full time. I'm like, no, I can't do that. I have bills. I have blah, blah, blah. Well, I didn't listen. And then the job was taken from me.
You because you didn't do the controlled demolition, the tower moment came.
Right, exactly, exactly. So we talked about that, right? If we don't do, it's either you do the controlled demolition or the tower comes, and then the life will go, whoop, there's the rug right
Mhm.
underneath you.
You're like, I better learn to pivot now. Oh, it's not easy. It's not easy. We've all been there. It's just, I'm so inspired talking to you. I got to tell you, you really inspire me.
Thank you.
And
Likewise.
all of you on here inspire both of us. I got to tell you that because most people do things, not all people, but a lot of people do things out of ego. And I'll tell you, this woman right here, hope now that I'm so bad at the Van and White on here. Anyways, Delphine right next to me. She's not doing this out of ego. She's not. She's doing this out of the love of her heart. And you could tell the difference because people who want to help and heal, they have a certain way of presenting themselves and speaking to people and giving. And the people who are doing it for ego and, likes and clicks and rewards, they're very surface level and you could feel it, right? And I feel it in my soul, Delphine. You are here to really heal so many people. You really are. And you are doing it. You're
Thank you.
absolutely doing it.
And I feel the same exact way for you, Sarah. It's likewise, and that's why we get the same results in the reading. That's why people say, "Oh, Sarah said that. Sarah said the same thing." I'm like, "That's right, because she's got it going on, just like I do."
Exactly.
We can toot our own horn. Thank you. We can toot our own horns every once in a while. But
Exactly. I
thank you.
mean,
That really means so much to me, Sarah. And I agree. I agree with, not agree, to toot my own horn. I meant, like, I feel the same way with you. You and Chrissy, you are such an inspiration to me. You're my soul sisters. And yeah, you're doing it for all the right reasons. I'm very happy that Prince of Peace came into my life and you came into my life. And you're one of the sisters, like from another mother, just like Chrissy. And you're
Chris,
doing it for all the right reasons too. And I know you went through your hell, and you've got trolls left and right because you're very successful on Instagram and TikTok. And I know they come at you. They come at you, but you know that they come at you because you got something going on. So we have to take all that the hatred that comes at us as badges of honor, right?
right. Well, they're trying to slow us down. They're trying to get us
Right,
to focus on them and slow us down. And we don't care what they say. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep it moving
right,
because we have a big responsibility to do. And all of you in here also have a big responsibility to do because this is why we call it light warriors, right? We have
right,
to help so many people.
right,
A lot of
right.
people who are not getting it. They're not getting it and they're going to need our
Exactly. Exactly. And one last thing, I think we're gonna, kind of close up shop here in the next few minutes. But what I'm getting to is that obviously we're all here for a reason, and we're here to break the generational curses in our family. All
help.
right. We are the curse breakers. We're here to bring the ascension. We're here to fight evil, but we're also here to use our gifts to help others. So, Soul Tribe, this is your mission this week if you choose to accept it. What can you do? What is it, like I said earlier, what is it that you love to do? And how can you give back
Mhm.
with that? If you love to bake, can you bake some cookies and bring them down to some veterans, a shelter? Maybe teach a cooking class. Okay. If you do Reiki, if you're practicing Reiki, can you go down and volunteer and give it to, maybe go to a nursing home and give Reiki? If you love animals and you have guide dogs, maybe you can bring a couple of your animals to an orphanage.
Mhm.
What is it that you can do? Maybe it's just so simple as opening the door for someone and saying, nice hair, I like your tie, or have a nice day. Or maybe it's just you see somebody, an older person that's in the grocery store all by themselves and they look a little lost. Can I help you? What, or strike up a conversation. You'd be surprised at how your position, you think that you're not powerful. You think that you don't affect people, but you do. And your light needs to shine the brightest now. So, Soul Tribe, we will get through this roller coaster of emotions. And trust me, like Sarah said, we're not perfect. I am a very, very moody person. Okay. And I have, like, I've suffered from mental illness my whole life. The depression is really bad with me because of the fact I'm very open and intuitive. And when you're empathic, so the last couple of weeks, what's really helped me is getting out of my head is helping others. And
Yeah.
when I do readings and when I channel, and I get to be, and this is such an honor and a privilege, and I know you feel this way too, Sarah,
Mhm.
being able to connect and give messages from people that have passed on is an honor and a privilege, and it makes me feel so good.
Yes.
And I know, right. And have you noticed that like the channeling is off the charts the last couple of weeks?
Yes. It's like it's completely like spot on. Like I'll do a video reading. I did this video reading for this one gentleman, and like, all he asked me is like love, career, health. And specifically, I don't even know where it came from. And he's like, he sent me paragraphs and paragraphs of details that I hit. I was like, what? Mm. It just it's this portal. It's this portal because all of us are being upgraded, not just Delphine and I, all of us in our gifts.
Yes,
And
right,
it's all about living in our authentic gifts. And it's just like what Delphine is saying. It's like use those gifts to help somebody else. They're not,
right,
God didn't give you this gift to keep to yourself. He gave it to share.
right,
That's what
right,
it's for sharing. So if you
right,
play like a musical instrument, maybe, even just play like something on YouTube or something, like you never know. Like, God, I love a good piano player. It's so soothing. It's just
right.
anything you can do, because it's not just going to make you happy. It's going to make other people happy. And when you give, you receive and you receive and you back. It's the law of reciprocity. It's amazing.
Exactly. And I'm getting with a lot of the readings too that the things that you love to do is what you're going to be doing
Mhm.
to help people. That's what you're going to be doing
That's what I'm
when
getting.
the next phase. And also I'm getting that people like, well, I spent like all 20 years in healthcare. And I'm like, no, all the skills that you get in healthcare, you're going to use them to the next phase. Is that what you're getting to? Like I'm getting like, for instance, you
Yeah.
spent all that education and all that time in education, but everything that you've learned in education and working, don't you use it doing your psychic tarot readings, and don't you use it? And aren't you going to use it in the future?
Oh, yes, definitely. I mean, I use my skills of hosting, just like this, like how I taught a classroom, or even how some people need boundaries, right? Like how I would speak to my students. Some people need those kind of accommodations, right?
Yes.
They just don't follow regular manners, so you have to give them some boundaries in a loving way, like I would give a student, or how I run a Zoom, or how I teach my classes. I mean, there's so many examples, but absolutely, just like with your job, I'm sure there's a lot of skill sets that you've applied to this as well.
Yeah. The organization, everything. Yep.
Yeah.
So, folks, what we're getting at is that everything that you've been through, all the jobs, all the education is not for naught. You're going to take that and you're going to use it when you level up, whatever you decide to do. Okay. And it's the things that you love to do, the things that make your heart sing is what you're going to be specializing in and what you're going to be doing for a living, so to speak, when
Exactly.
the event happens.
Mhm.
Okay. So why wait? Start working on it now. Because when you move in the direction of your passion, you raise your vibration. And when you raise your vibration, everything that's when the magic happens.
Mhm. Yes,
Yep.
magic. And it's indeed going to be very magical this week. I'm going to leave anybody with any last words. I know it sounds very intense and scary, but it's also going to be very magical. I think this is one of the most magical, spiritual, just amazing, enthralling weeks that we're about to experience as a collective in probably thousands of years. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I can't top that, soul sister. So I'm going to say I second that emotion. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. We are so thank you also to, especially I didn't give a shout out to aspiring alchemist Carrie, one of my troll crushing guardians, and also Ocean Odell. I love you, Carrie. I love you, Ocean Odell. I love you, my soul sister, Real World Witness Chrissy. Um, if you haven't joined Sarah Ashley's YouTube channel, I'm sure you have. All that's in the description. Also, if you want to take advantage of her Akashic records, which you really should, and all the other beautiful things, please visit SARA ASHLEY Astrology.com. The link is also in the description. I'll be on tomorrow night with our soul sister, Real World Witness Chrissy. Sarah Ashley, my soul sister, I love you very much. I am very honored. Thank you so much for coming on this last minute live. All your beautiful complimental words. Right back at you. I'm very honored and blessed to have you in my life.
I received that. Thank you, Delphine. I'm so honored and blessed to have you in my life. And thank you, everybody. I hope everybody has a beautiful, blessed evening and a beautiful, blessed week.
All right, Soul Tribe, be good. God bless, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.